Viewers, the USAID controversy has erupted into a full-blown political storm in India. It has ignited a fierce clash between the BJP and the Congress. At the heart of this is the latest claim by US President Donald Trump that 180 crores USAID fund allocated to boost voter turnout in India was nothing more than a kickback scheme. His words, not mine. Viewers, this remark has poured fuel on an already polarized narrative, turning this case into a slugfest of accusations, denials and counter-narratives. The BJP has invoked Trump's words to slam Congress and the ecosystem. The BJP has alleged that the funds were funneled to sustain the deep state assets intent on manipulating India's democratic process, implicitly suggesting a conspiracy to undermine Prime Minister Narendra Modi's electoral dominance or prospects. Viewers, by linking Trump's comments to Rahul Gandhi's past remarks abroad, particularly his 2023 London speech, where he urged Western democracies to notice India's democratic struggles, the BJP has called Congress a compromised force, linking them to external powers. Viewers, the Congress in response has struck back with equal vigor, dismissing Trump's claims as nonsensical and accusing the BJP of amplifying fakery to score political points. The Congress cited a media report that suggested that 180 crores were actually earmarked for Bangladesh, not India. Congress leaders have demanded accountability from the BJP for rushing to judgment without proper verification. Viewers, at the moment, there are no clear answers to things like whether the funds existed, whether the beneficiaries, how many of them, where did the funds go, who received what was achieved. Instead, the controversy has become a proxy war, a clash of narratives. Viewers, this slugfest risks drowning out the real questions. If the USAID funds were real, who received them? What was the purpose? And who will end this confusion? Viewers, is the ecosystem trying to dodge and deflect? Sample the reactions.
And $21 million for voter turnout in India. Why are we caring about India turnout? We got enough problems. We want our own turnout, don't we? Can you imagine all that money going to India? I wonder what they think when they get it. Now, it's a kickback scheme. You know, it's not like they get it and they spend. They kick it back to the people that send it, I would say, in many cases. Many of these cases, anytime you have no idea what we're talking about, that means there's a kickback.
Viewers, let's open this up. R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Harshvardhan Tripathi, senior journalist. Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. Tausif Ahmed Khan, lawyer and analyst. Ravi Srivastav. And Dr. Ranganathan completes the panel, needs no introduction. R.P. Singh, I want to begin by asking you, the Congress party has summarily dismissed the allegations made by the BJP. They say, look, if you have the money trail, show it to us. Otherwise, see the media report that has come out that claims that, look, these funds were meant for Bangladesh, not India.
Well, do I believe media report or do I believe the president of the country? What he said, USAID 21 million for voter turnout in India. Why do we need to spend USAID for 21 million for voter turnout in India? I guess they mean the Biden administration, previous government. They get somebody else elected. We have got to tell the Indian government. This is what his statement is. So I really don't know. Do you want me to believe some newspaper report or something else, or do I believe the horse's mouth? I mean, the person who has said, the president of the country who's saying what he's saying, and he's categorically stating what he's stating.
Okay. Tehseen has his hand up already. Yes, Tehseen.
Pranesh, I'm very grateful. Good evening to you, to my fellow panelists and to all your viewers, that we've raised this very important, pertinent issue. I'm sure Harshvardhanji and Dr. Ranganathan and you will agree this is an importance of national security issue, importance of national security. Let's break it down. I'll just take a little time, after which I will not intervene, so because your viewers must understand the agree. Pranesh, in your opening remarks, you said there's nothing specific. It's two charges made by President Trump, and there's an Indian Express report that says, look, this was for Bangladesh. I'm saying leave all of it out. Let us believe President Trump. So now there are three elections that took place where there was the Lok Sabha elections, 2014, 2019, 2024. Let's go by 2024. the previous administration, Biden. But historic data shows and tells us that the most amount of US aid that has come into NGOs, now this is obviously not government funding is stopped, no government will push itself out, has come in after 2020. Pranesh, I would like your help to check, perhaps Dr. Ranganathan, who was the Prime Minister after 2020? I think it was Prime Minister Modi. US aid has been the highest. Now let's go to 2019. This is where Mike Ben says, look, a lot of funds went to Indian NGOs, and this was in 2019. Again, 2019, who was the President of the United States of America? President Donald Trump. 2019 was also Prime Minister Modi. So let's go to the previous elections, 2014. 2013, there was funds that came in. I do believe very firmly the IAC movement was foreign funded, including the opposition to the nuclear deal. We leave that out, and the government changed. So one. Number two, if the Indian Express report is to be made correct, how does the Prime Minister not know that Bangladesh is getting funded, as a result of which our friend Sheikh Hasina goes out of power and she has to now be in India? I am saying leave all of this out. Let's now leave this because none of it is specific. What the Congress is demanding is not a white but a black paper. Put a black paper out. If money is coming into India, if it's coming to NGOs, if it's coming to regime changes, is it then the contention of the Indian government, Pranesh, of the BJP, that the elections were not held free and fair, the election commission is incapable, the IB and RAW does not know what is happening, and money that comes into NGOs can be spent anywhere? Can $621 million really impact an election that is running into a few $100 million? I think these are important questions raised, which the government should answer.
Okay. Now, Dr. Ranganathan, before we get in the others, I want you to set the context right.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Pranesh. First of all, R.P. Singh ji, absolutely right. It's either we believe the fake news spreaders and generators in the media, or we believe Donald Trump. The choice is ours. No, but as you said, let's set the context right. And here I'd like to make 3 or 4 important points that I think your viewers would benefit from. Look, the issue, Pranesh, is not that US aid was funding Americans to seed or expand American interests around the world. Powerful countries spend unreal amounts of money and resources to establish assets and to enhance their sphere of influence, especially in developing world and untapped markets. So what USA was doing is done by China, Germany, France, UK, even Russia, and I dare say India. US aid was a carefully thought out arm of US foreign policy and the CIA. They were buying influence and establishing assets, preparing grounds for enhancing business interests, helping out the military industrial complex. Indeed, those Americans like Elon Musk who wanted disbanded, perhaps for good reasons, might not even be aware that under the garb of absurd or fictitious labels or budgetary headings, the US government was actually helping out thousands of US businesses, pharma, auto, aviation, mining, GMO, perhaps even Tesla. Secondly, lobbying by Indians for American interests is well known, as the COVID Pfizer vaccine push has showed us. Foreign governments, their diplomats, routinely entice Indians across diverse fields, especially struggling YouTubers or screechy radio jockeys, to take up issues that aid foreign interests, sometimes even quasi-revolutions. So the issue is not that US aid was funding Americans to seed or expand American interests. The issue is not even that US aid was funding Indians to expand American interests. No. Pranesh, the issue is that US aid was funding Indians to undermine Indian interests. And that is an issue that should be investigated for any illegality that may have transpired. Now to the other point, and that's important, of foreign interference in Indian elections. To be honest, Pranesh, there is a thin line between genuine concern and scaremongering. Being the victim and playing it. Everyone's a hypocrite here. The biggest interference in elections happens through media. Billions of dollars are handed out to the Indian media by Indian and foreign companies in the form of ads, also pushed by Indian and foreign governments, like in the case of China, that directly funds multiple Indian media outlets. In the 80s, if you remember, a newspaper editor ratted out the then PM Rajiv Gandhi in the name of the Bofors Swedish whistleblower. Was there not interference? In 2019, the same editor cropped out the signature of our defense minister to peddle the fake narrative that Modi had indulged in Rafale scam. Was there not election interference? What did the government do? Nothing. And have we forgotten NewsClick, shamelessly following Beijing's orders on Arunachal, COVID, Galwan? Look, misinformation, disinformation, peddling fake narratives, trick the Indian voter, interfere in Indian elections, doubtless. But then you can never stop it, because every single politician and every single political party takes money and spends to do it. Pranesh, now I beg your indulgence for a minute, because this is most important. If an organization gives money to a political party, does it expect some leverage in return? The answer is yes. But here is the thing, Pranesh. The biggest election interference in Indian history was perpetrated by this government itself, with full support and partaking of the opposition, through the anonymous electoral bonds and the amendments to the FCRA Act that allowed foreign companies to give billions, tens of billions, to Indian political parties anonymously. This was the biggest betrayal of the Indian voter, and no party has returned the money to these companies. Just 30 seconds. And it was not a foreign hand that did it. It was an Indian hand. And that is why it was more dangerous, as it was done in secret, unlike a spurious paid-for news report or ad that you can read and rebut. The governments want transparency on who got US aid money, but wanted to keep opaque as to who gave political parties money through electoral bonds. Look, if a foreign mining company gave billions to Congress, BJP would be up in arms. But a foreign company did give billions to Congress, and yet the BJP was silent. You know why? Because that same mining company also gave billions to the BJP, and both BJP and Congress joined hands in amending the FCRA Act to escape conviction. Was that not interference, Pradesh?
It was, and all parties extended both their hands to receive funds from, the corporates and the powers that be. But, Ravi Srivastav, let's underline the fundamental questions we are asking. People are wondering, what is this about? Where is the money? Who got the money? When did the money come? Or did the money come at all?
Pranesh, I think the story is totally unfounded. First of all, my friends just now said that whom should I believe? We believe the President Donald Trump, or we believe the Indian Express newspaper, which is having a front page headline on that. So my question here is the BJP being the cosmos, the biggest party, having the best kind of surveillance and security agencies available, starting from NIA to NSA to FEMA to this to that, could not trace 182 crores, came to India and managed it to the thin air. Who got it? Why President Trump is not showing that whom did he give it? Why their agencies are not telling that who is the beneficiary in India? US gives to the entire world. They give it to Nepal, they give it to Somalia, they give it to Bangladesh, they give it to this, for health, for education, for political awareness, for voter turnout. Hundreds of things they are doing it. So they do it, and why don't they tell that who got it? That's why the Congress called it is a nonsensical statement altogether. They bring a white paper on this, or they will bring out a black paper on this.
Okay, Tausif and Anand Dubey is also on the broadcast. Tausif, Amit Malviya has put out a post, and let me read what he says. He says, this report, and you know the report I'm talking about, remains silent on subsequent funding beginning in 2014. So he says money started coming in from 2014 under various categories aimed at interfering in India's election process.
No, you see what Amit Malviya is talking and what BJP is talking on the Indo-US agreement recently, or the Indo-US meeting, the Modi and Trump bonhomie. They are basically deflecting from the real issues. This meeting, this shaking hand of Mr. Modi with President Trump is very costly. Why it is costly? Because so far India was importing oil from Russia at a very cheaper rate, cheaper than market rate. Now India is forced to sign an agreement where US goods will come to India more, where India will have to import oil and gas and defense equipment from America at a higher price.
What has that got to do with this?
At the cost of India's economic prosperity. It has absolutely got to do with it, because BJP is shying away from discussing on this. And that is why they had to.
So you believe this is a deflection? You see, if you're trying to do match the following, a match nahi hua. Tausif, full marks for trying, but I can't understand. I don't know about Tehseen and the others, but Tehseen, do you want to sum up what Tausif is trying to say?
No, I don't kind of get what Tausif is trying to say. I want to make another point that Dr. Anand Ranganathan made. Please allow me to rebut that.
No, I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
No,
I
please,
thought
that's a
maybe
very
you
important-
understood. Tehsin, I'll come to you.
This is
Two
a very
people haven't
important
spoken.
point.
1 minute. Dr. Harshvardhan hasn't spoken. I thought you would, understand what Tausif is saying, but it's okay. Even you haven't understood. Anand Dubey ji, आपको ये जो USAID कंट्रोवर्सी है, इस पे क्या सोचते हैं आप? ये क्या है?
प्रणेश जी नमस्ते। हम तो मतलब हास्यास्पद स्थिति में आ गए हैं इस समय कि ट्रंप कह रहे हैं कि भारत अब एक मजबूत देश है, इसको देने वाली धनराशि रोक देनी चाहिए। और सिर्फ भारत ही नहीं, विश्व में जो और भी बहुत देश है जिसको अमेरिका मदद करती है, इसको रोक देना चाहिए, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी भारत बहुत टैक्सेस हमारे पर लगाता है। भारत बहुत मजबूत देश है, आर्थिक रूप से बहुत आगे बढ़ गया है। अब आप बताइए कि इससे भारत का चुनाव कैसे मैनिपुलेट हो जाएगा या इफेक्ट हो जाएगा? उस समय के तत्कालीन 2012 के जो मुख्य चुनाव आयुक्त मिस्टर कुरैशी हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि नहीं, ये एग्रीमेंट जरूर बना था, एक एमओयू जरूर बनी थी, लेकिन उसमें केवल प्रशिक्षण देने की बात हुई थी, कोई बहुत पैसा देने की बात नहीं हुई थी। $21 मिलियन ये वो। ये एलन मस्क और ट्रंप भारत की छवि को धूमिल कर रहे हैं। वो ऐसा दिखा रहे हैं कि वो बहुत बड़े आदमी हैं, वो पूरी दुनिया को रास्ता दिखाते हैं, और भारत बहुत गरीब, बड़ा कमजोर सा देश है, इनके अनुदान और इनकी अनुकंपा पे जिंदा है। इसके लिए तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को हस्तक्षेप करना चाहिए, ट्रंप से जवाब तलब करना चाहिए कि ट्रंप एक बात बताइए, अब क्या भारत देश USAID से चलेगा? आपके अनुकंपा से चलेगा?
अरे ये क्या बोल रहे हैं? आपको पता है सर USAID कितने सालों से मिल रहा है, कब से आ रहा है पता है आपको?
तो
आपकी पार्टी भी नहीं थी जब से आ रहा है।
सुनिए तो पहले, नहीं तो अब
नहीं,
देंगे
सुनिए
तो
क्या?
नहीं, आप देंगे और उसके बाद आप हमको बदनाम करेंगे कि उस पैसे से हम अपना
सवाल
चुनाव
वो नहीं है सर।
करते हैं। नहीं,
क्या
सवाल
बोल रहे हैं
यही
आप?
है।
पता नहीं क्या हो गया लोगों को।
प्रणेश जी सवाल सुनिए।
वो देखिए,
देश का
तहसीन भी
सबसे
नहीं
बड़ा
मान रहे हैं।
चैनल है
तहसीन
टाइम्स
बैरोमीटर है, आप
पूरा
लोग
देश
जो बोल
देख
रहे
रहा
हैं
है।
तहसीन को भी नहीं समझ में आ
अमेरिका
रहा।
हमको 100 साल से अगर पैसा देगा,
हर्षवर्धन जी ने सबको सुना है। हर्षवर्धन जी को सुनिए। हर्षवर्धन जी, आपने सुना है सबको, आरपी सिंह से लेके दुबे जी तक ये बोल रहे हैं कि ये ट्रंप पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा बोल रहे हैं, मोदी जी को हस्तक्षेप करना चाहिए, बीजेपी को जवाब देना चाहिए, पैसे से कैसे इंटरफेरेंस हो जाएगा?
देखिए प्रणेश, सबसे पहले तो ये कि मुझे लगता है कि ये जो वोटर टर्नआउट कहा जा रहा है, ये वोटर एनार्की के लिए आया था भारत में। इसको थोड़ा सा अगर हम लोग समझेंगे तो शायद हम इस डिबेट में ठीक जगह पहुंचेंगे। एक तो ये कि इसमें कहीं कोई संदेह नहीं है कि नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार है, और इस सरकार को ही ये बताना है कि वो पैसे किसके पास आ रहे थे, कैसे इस्तेमाल हुए, कहां इस्तेमाल हुए। लेकिन ये हर कोई जानता है कि पिछले 10 वर्षों में ढेर सारी शेल कंपनियां, ढेर सारे एनजीओ के अकाउंट्स, ढेर सारे एफसीआरए और फेमा फेरा के तहत जो कार्रवाई हुई हैं, वो सब ऐसे एनजीओ के तहत हुई। जो नए नियम है उसमें 30% से ज्यादा आप इस तरह की चीजों पर नहीं दिखा सकते, जो पैसे किसी को पे कर दिए जाते थे और कहा जाता था किसी काम के लिए। अब सवाल यहां यह है कि क्या हम ट्रंप की बात माने, या एक अखबार रिपोर्ट करता है जिसमें कोई फैक्चुअल रिपोर्टिंग नहीं। अगर कोई फैक्चुअल रिपोर्टिंग है तो मुझे जरा कोई बताए, क्योंकि मैंने भी वो रिपोर्ट पढ़ी। सवाल यहां यह है कि अचानक ऐसी रिपोर्ट क्यों इतनी जल्दबाजी में आ गई। अगर हम ये देखें, USAID भारत में पैसे देता रहता है, और सिर्फ भारत में नहीं, अगर आप डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एफिशिएंसी का वो पोस्ट देखें तो सिर्फ $21 मिलियन वो इंडिया में नहीं है, $468 मिलियन है टोटल, जो ऐसे अलग अलग देशों में वो करते हैं। ये भी कोई छिपी हुई बात नहीं है कि दुनिया में जो भी ताकतवर देश है अमेरिका सहित, वो दूसरे देशों में अपने लिहाज से सब चीजें तैयार करते हैं। असली चीज हमें समझनी होगी, जब भी भारत में सरकार ताकतवर होगी, अमेरिका या दूसरे ऐसे देश वहां इंटरफेरेंस करने की कोशिश करते हैं। हमारा अपना इलेक्टोरेट ऐसा है, हमारी ऐसी डेमोक्रेसी है कि हम उसको खारिज करते। बड़ी बड़ी ताकतों को हमने उनकी जगह दिखाई। खतरा कहां है? खतरा तब है जब जॉर्ज सोरोस ओपनली प्लेज करता है, और राहुल गांधी और जॉर्ज सोरोस म्यूनिख ग्लोबल सिक्योरिटी कॉन्फ्रेंस में बोलता है, और जो राहुल गांधी बोलते हैं, दोनों की भाषा एक हो जाती। जब राहुल गांधी देश भर में घूम घूम कर नॉर्थ साउथ डिवाइड की बात करते हैं, जब राहुल गांधी कास्ट, एक तरह से कहते हैं ना कि आप कहेंगे कि आप जातीय जनगणना कराइए, लेकिन जिस तरह से उसको प्रेजेंट करते हैं, जब राहुल गांधी श्रीनगर में जाकर कहते हैं कि हमने आतंकवादी से आंख मिलाई, आतंकवादी ने मुझसे मिलाई और कुछ नहीं हुआ, जब राहुल गांधी कहते हैं कि केरोसिन पूरे देश में छिड़का हुआ है, माचिस लगाने की जरूरत है, तब यह खतरा बढ़ जाता है। यानी इंटरफेरेंस करने की कोशिश विदेशी शक्तियां कर रही, वहां तक ठीक है, लेकिन अगर प्रमुख विपक्षी पार्टी का नेता, अब नेता प्रतिपक्ष हो गया व्यक्ति, वो उसको इस तरह से इस्तेमाल कर रहा है, तो ये खतरनाक है, ये ज्यादा चिंता की बात है।
Okay, Tehseen, Dr. Ranganathan is you just wanting to add something, and I'm coming to you. Dr. Ranganathan, many people are also questioning this one line from the report. It says, facts show all may have jumped the gun. This is a bit like what we saw in the Hindenburg report. I mean, after such an emphatic headline, why would you write may have?
I wouldn't even wrap my kachoris with the Indian Express print edition for fear of all that toxicity and fake narrative seeping in. No, that's another matter. I want to talk about something else, and I think we are missing the woods for the trees out here. मैंने हर्षवर्धन जी की बात सुनी, मेरे बहुत अच्छे मित्र हैं, बाकी सारे पैनल पे भी लोगों ने अच्छे पॉइंट्स रखे। मैं 2 पॉइंट रखना चाहता हूं। इलेक्शन इंटरफेरेंस है क्या प्रणेश? व्हाट इज इलेक्शन इंटरफेरेंस? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, I am against illegal election interference. But how can anybody be against legal election interference? For example, would you say that Elon Musk, who spent $300 million on the Trump campaign, was interfering in the elections legally or illegally? Would you say that the political parties that spent tens, hundreds of billions of dollars in India during elections, are they interfering in elections legally or illegally? That is the question. How can you stop legal election interference? Because you have to define what interference is. I gave you the example of illegal election interference, which was anonymously. Political parties in India were taking hundreds of billions of dollars from mining companies, all sorts of spurious companies, on the pretext that they are doing something for the good of the country. But actually they were doing something good, for extracting leverage those companies were from those political parties. That is election interference. But was that legal? Yes, it was in this country. So please, can we define what is election interference, and let us not go by scaremongering.
Okay, Tehseen, for that we'll have to do a separate debate, because I don't think, people from any party will either return the money. Some of them are complaining, but पैसे किसी ने वापस नहीं किए. Tehseen.
Thank you, Pranesh. On a side note, Dr. Ranganathan, in any case, please, Dr. Ranganathan, on a side note, in any case, you should not be eating kachoris. It's fried and oily, and definitely not wrapped in any newspaper. Not good. Please have it in non-toxic paper. Side note. But let me come to the issue at hand. There are 2 issues out here. Issue number 1, what Dr. Harshvardhan rightfully and very articulately said. Look, the real issue could be then what was the voter suppression that is spoken about. And now, whatever be our opinion, and do concede to what Dr. Ranganathan said, that we don't have a clear line of what is legal and illegal in an election suppression. Definitely, targeting or increasing voter turnout, in my opinion, is interference. Let's accept that fact. Once we accept that fact, is it then Dr. Harshvardhan's claim that the BJP was suppressing Dalit voters, and therefore by Dalits coming out and Rahul Gandhi, the honorable leader of opposition, saying the caste census, the BJP lost a majority? Is that the argument
no,
that's
he's
being
not
made?
saying
because
that.
the second, no, one second, I understand. But that's the second way I choose to look at it. You and Dr. Harshvardhan are free to look at it from the lens you want. I'm looking at it from this lens. Why would you have the perception my lens is wrong? In my opinion, the BJP was trying to suppress it, and therefore today the BJP shocked they didn't get a majority. Number 2, let me just go by math, because math can never go wrong. $16 billion or 1.35 lakh crores at today's exchange rate was spent on the Indian elections. These are figures of the Election Commission of India. By and large, all political parties, overall spending, accounts given, some still not given. Out of which $21 million, we are talking about 2024, assumingly came into India and all got spent. We don't know what year we are talking about. Even then, at current value, that is 180 crores. So we are telling that an election worth 1.35 lakh crores can be spoiled by 180 crores without any specifics, without any dates, without telling us how it came. Therefore, then the question Harshvardhan ji rightly said, and I'm asking, what was the Election Commission of India and our agencies doing? Let's assume NGOs got money in post-2020 when the norms were tightened. Harshvardhan ji is right there. Yet these NGOs managed to spend 182 crores, and all we did, the government did, is as much as the Prime Minister's press conference is zero. That's the question. Or if it came in 2019, as Mike Benz is saying, Donald Trump was president? What was Donald Trump doing? Those are the questions we need answers to.
Okay, let's get a response from RP Singh.
Pranesh, I don't understand how do you allow fakery and falsehood to propagate on your channel. Probably Indian Express misquoted the figure. The figure is $29 million as per the Dodge Twitter Department of Government Efficiency tweet. It's $29 million. They misquoted the figure, and that's how it went wrong. So they can do that, and they are known for doing a lot of things like that. But coming to the other story, the money which came was in the UPA regime, and that was in tune to some $21 million, right? And also that Mr. Qureshi probably didn't knew. Mr. Qureshi never knew. Probably he was told that this is only for training purpose, but there was something else happening behind Mr. Qureshi's face, or using him as a face and then using the money by some other funnel. So this has happened. And then now,
Sardar RP Singh, sir, one minute. Sir, let's not confuse the viewer. Let me ask you a more fundamental question. If what the BJP is saying is true, that money came in, that the ecosystem is rattled because perhaps, they have vested interest, or those who got money received kickbacks in, I'm using what Trump said, they are rattled and now resorting to this. When will the details come out? Will the government present the details, or are you waiting for Musk and Trump to give us that?
No, obviously the Indian government would be approaching the US government, asking for the complete detail, so that everything should be exposed. It's a matter of time that this will be exposed. Who got the kickback there also, because it's very natural for them to understand who got the kickbacks there also, and where the money was spent here. What are the rules? But it is all known that Rahul Gandhi was abroad and begging the foreign agencies and foreign governments to help them to restore democracy in India. He's on record saying that why don't US
so
and
you're
European
linking the
government come
two.
and help? And
Okay, Ravi Srivastav.
He fastened the charge on Congress before verifying the facts. How could you say that the Congress did it? Why you are alleging the UPA for that? Before getting the facts right, why you are alleging? You should know the facts first. Can Mr. Modi talk to Trump like this? That your report is nonsensical, you have not paid any money here. Like Congress said it.
No, what are you saying? ये मैं समझा नहीं, sir. You want
आप
Trump?
समझ जाएंगे बहुत जल्दी. आपने कांग्रेस के गले में घंटी बांध ली कि ये इन्होंने किया है, ये पैसे ले गए, और आपने वेरीफाई किया ही नहीं अभी तक. पहले वेरीफाई तो कर लेते ना.
ओके, डॉक्टर रंगनाथन, पहले वेरीफाई कर लेते, उसके बाद ये एलिगेशन लगाते, सेज रवि श्रीवास्तव.
प्रणेश, पहले तो मैं जेंटली आपको कैस्टिगेट कर दूं. अभी तक 3 पैनलिस्ट ऐसे हैं आपके पैनल पे जो आप कह रहे हैं जो उन्होंने कहा वो आपको समझ में नहीं आया. तो थोड़ा सा इस पे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा आपको. लेकिन रवि जी की देखिए, एक पॉइंट इन्होंने अच्छा कहा, मैं मानता हूं. बाकी जो 9 पॉइंट थे वो नॉनसेंसिकल थे, लेकिन 8 जो इन्होंने सेंस के लिए बात कही है बहुत अरसों बाद, वो यस, थैंक यू, हंस रहे हैं, मतलब मैं इनकी बहुत इज्जत करता हूं, कि बीजेपी या सरकार को ये अभी तक पता क्यों नहीं चला कि अगर पैसा आया 29 मिलियन 21 मिलियन जितना भी आया, वो सरकार को पता चलना चाहिए कि भाई कहां गया. वो इनकी पॉइंट में रखता हूं और ये सेंसिबल पॉइंट है. लेकिन मैं इनसे पूछता हूं, जो ये कांग्रेस को इतना बचा रहे हैं, तो भैया ये बता दीजिए कि जो 1600 करोड़ कांग्रेस ने एनोनिमस इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड से लिए, वो अभी तक वापस क्यों नहीं किया? रवि जी, यू आर अ क्रूसेडर अगेंस्ट, यू आर अ क्रूसेडर फॉर योर वॉर फॉर करप्शन. तो आप ये इसमें शर्मा क्यों रहे हैं?
नहीं,
कांग्रेस को कटघरे पे खड़ा करिए.
I'll tell you what he will say. Tehseen will also perhaps join Ravi Srivastav in saying that, look, the Congress is opposing this in principle, but we will return the money when the BJP returns the money. तब तक हम रखेंगे अपने पास, because we don't want to lose out on that money. But more seriously, हर्षवर्धन जी, ये देखिए इतने दिनों से चल रहा है ये USAID कंट्रोवर्सी. जो लोग सवाल पूछ रहे हैं कि ये इसका जवाब कौन देगा, जो डॉक्टर रंगनाथन ने भी बोला कि ये सेंसिबल सवाल है, उस सवाल के अलावा जो बाकी चार्जेस हैं, क्या हमें पहले उसके बारे में डिस्कस करना चाहिए? जो फंडामेंटल क्वेश्चन है उसको पहले एड्रेस कर दें.
देखिए प्रणेश, मैं बहुत जिसको कहें ना कि एक डिफरेंशिएटर आपको देता हूं। आप ये समझिए कि अगर अभी कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट 10 साल 15 साल भारत में रहे तो यही यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, यही डीप स्टेट, यही वहां की जो फंडिंग एजेंसियां हैं, जो ग्रांट्स आती हैं, वो उस सरकार को अस्थिर करने के लिए आई। हमें थोड़ा ये समझना पड़ेगा, पूरी चूंकि जो डिबेट हो रही है वो कांग्रेस वर्सेज बीजेपी हो जा रही, ऐसा नहीं है। चूंकि भारत सरकार अभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की है, भारत को कमजोर वीक रखने की कोशिश होगी। और मैं बार बार ये कहता हूं कि ये इलेक्शंस हो या जो नॉर्मल डेज है उसमें, वो एक कोशिश एनार्की करने की होगी ही होगी। सवाल यहां ये है कि क्या हमारे यहां विपक्ष का नेता कभी ऐसा व्यवहार करता रहा है? मेरी चिंता थोड़ी दूसरी है। क्या कभी ऐसा हुआ कि हमारे देश का नेता विदेश में जाकर कहे कि हमारे यहां लोकतंत्र खत्म हो गया है, डेमोक्रेसी है नहीं और आप लोग ऑब्लिवियस हैं, बेखबर हैं, पूरी तरह से देख ही नहीं रहे? मुझे ये ज्यादा खतरनाक दिखता है। और तब क्या होता है? तब राहुल गांधी जाके इल्हान उमर से मिलाते हैं। तब राहुल गांधी के साथ जो यात्रा में लोग होते हैं वो जॉर्ज सोरोस के जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है उससे जुड़े हुए लोग होते हैं। अब कोई कहेगा कि इसमें इल्लीगल क्या है, इसमें सरकार कैसे कार्रवाई करेगी? लेकिन इसका मतलब ये हुआ ना कि आप उन लूपहोल्स का इस्तेमाल करके, आपकी सत्ता नहीं आ रही है, आप ट्रस्ट नहीं जीत पा रहे हो जनता का, उसका दुरुपयोग कर रहे हो। ये ज्यादा खतरनाक है।
आप सही बोल रहे हैं, इलीगल तो कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन इत्तेफाक जो कोइंसिडेंस है वो कुछ ज्यादा ही है। दे आर वन टू मेनी एंड होपफुली वी विल हैव आंसर्स sooner than later. Viewers, let's shift our attention.